And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's show. It's game week for the Georgia Southern Eagles as they're set to take on Campbell in their season opener on Saturday at Paulson Stadium. We'll hear from Coach Lunsford and a few of the players about finally getting able to play a game. We also have some highlights from this past week from Bulloch Academy, and Southeast Bulloch, their big victories that they had. This week you've got Portal in action as they'll be hosting Montgomery County. Southeast Bulloch on the road to Nahunta as they'll take on Brantley County, and Bulloch Academy on the road at Calvary Baptist coming off their big win against Country Day. We'll hear from coaches and players to preview all those games. We also have some softball action, all that and more coming up on Upon Further Review. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, the long-anticipated first game of the season for the Georgia Southern Eagles coming up on Saturday at Paulson Stadium as they'll be hosting the Campbell Camels. We had a chance to talk with Coach Lunsford and a few of the players about the matchup.
Because there's just so many differences. I mean, first off, Paulson's not going to be packed. I think they said it's only like 6,000 people, so we got that. And then obviously it's just been a weird vibe with Corona and all that stuff. But despite all that, I mean, everyone's still excited to play football and still excited to play our opener. I mean, everybody on the team is locked in and ready to go. Going into every season, everyone's always so hyped for that first game because we've been practicing for so long, putting in all the work, and we're just ready to go out there and show how hard we've been working.
I think it becomes more real when you start to look around and on social media and other platforms. You see teams starting to actually play, so it starts to let you know how real it really is, and it definitely seems real. So it's definitely going to be different, and I would love for all the fans to be in here. But even though, despite all of that, it's still a blessing, just to even have an opportunity to get on the field for my last year. So I try not to take those for granted, and I try to think that I'm still blessed, and I'm thankful for the opportunity. What we know about Campbell is they're going to give us their best game. They're going to come in here expecting to win. They're going to come in here expecting to compete. They're not going to come in here and lay down just because we're Georgia Southern or that they're in Paulson. So we treat, like I always said, probably since I had my first interview, we treat every team the same. We're going to prepare for every team the same. We go in there with that mental preparation that it's going to be a dogfight, and that we won't want to have it any other way.
I always believed it would happen. There's days where you kind of thought maybe it wouldn't. But there's a lot of excitement right now. There's a lot of excitement with our guys. You can just kind of feel it in the office. You can feel it on the field. Hey, it actually is here. Obviously we don't want to take anything for granted because it can be taken away from you at any moment, like it was in the spring. And so we gotta go out. We gotta make sure each day we're taking advantage of it. And but I know our guys are excited. We still have to deal with an awful lot every day when it comes to contact tracing, when it comes to symptoms, when it comes to actual COVID test and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things every day that guys have to deal with and go, hey, next man up type mentality stuff, and just also trying to stay positive as a team if there is something where we don't have certain players available and things like that. But our guys are doing a really good job embracing the adversity and trying to go through it. I think there's some little bit of unknown of, you may Saturday morning, a guy may wake up with a runny nose and be, hey, he's out because that's a symptom of COVID. and now you got to figure that puzzle piece out. And so again, we just got to be ready, and all our backup plans have got to be ready, and the backup to the backup plans got to be ready. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I mean, I don't want anybody to get sick. I don't want anybody not to be healthy. So we obviously are very concerned about that type of stuff, but it's also going to be interesting in putting puzzle pieces together. So it's just a different way to strategize.
That game taking place at 3:30 at Paulson Stadium. All right, well, stay with us. We'll hit the high school front coming up next.
My Queensboro banker is Cheryl Quick.
Blanchard Equipment Company has 16 locations.
Queensboro has homegrown values just like us.
They get heavily involved in every community.
And that means strong customer service.
They've been around a long time, just like John Deere.
When you run across the bank like that, you stick with them.
I sure would like to own one of these John Deeres.
Well, we can sure make that happen.
Oh, well.
Queensboro is your community bank. Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
The folks at the Georgia Southern University store want all Eagle fans to know the Statesboro campus of the university store will be open Saturday, September 12th from 11 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. and Saturday, September 19th from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Both Paulson Stadium stores will be open for window and counter service with a selection of Georgia Southern apparel from the time the gates open until the end of halftime. Web orders from the full selection of Georgia Southern apparel, hats, gifts, and tailgating items may be ordered for free pickup at Paulson Stadium at the home side store during game day hours. Web orders must be placed by 1 p.m. on Friday for each of the first 2 home games. So don't forget, for all your game day and Georgia Southern needs, shop the University store on the Georgia Southern campus. On the high school front, the Bulloch Academy Gators got things underway on Thursday, christening in the season as they host Savannah Country Day, a big victory for the Gators as they knocked them off 32-2. The much anticipated first game of the season for the Bulloch Academy Gators as they host Savannah Country Day, taking on a GHSA school, and Steve Pennington in his first game as a head coach for the Gators, Rodney Hill back in a Gator uniform, and take a look at Rodney as he takes it up the middle into Hornet territory. And then it's Tyler Willoughby, the first points of 2020, and it's 6-0 Gators. Then it's Cam Harrison from 14 yards out, and this time he'll bounce it outside and knock a defender down and goes in for the score to make it 13-0. Second half, and take a look at this, one of the crazier plays that you'll see. Country Day receiver Kenny Odom with the first down catch at the 31, but he's going to try his best Barry Sanders impersonation. Kids, take a look at that one, look it up. He goes all the way to the other sidelines, about the 15, but then he's going to cut back again, but Bryson Scott cuts him down for a safety. That would help set up Willoughby, who goes in from 10 yards away to make it 22-0 Bulloch Academy. Country Day gets a safety to get on the boards. But then Cam Harrison delivers a big hit, and then special teams getting involved. Olin Anderson for a 49-yard field goal, which would be a school record. He gets this one with a good 10 yards plus to go, 25-2. And finally, here's why Rodney Hill is getting some big-time D1 offers. He comes up with the finishing touch, breaking a few tackles, and then turning on the speed as the Gators open up with a big victory, winning 32-2. This week it'll be another GHSA opponent as the Gators travel to Savannah to take on Calvary Baptist.
We did some good things the other night, and Savannah Country Day helped us out in those areas. But it was almost a tale of two halves because our execution was on cue the very first half, and the second half we had a lot to be desired when it came to execution and performance. And I know the heat had a lot to do with that. We had a lot of players playing both sides of the ball, but yet we've got to get to the point that we'll grind a little harder, take pride in what we're doing, stay attention to our details as far as technique and fundamentals concerned, assignments, and the list goes on and on and on. And so it's a lot better to recognize and attack those things during practice week after a win than it is after a defeat. One positive came from the game is that Coach Collis, the head coach at Country Day, shared with me after the game was that he did not expect us to have the team speed that we had, especially on the defensive side. He said he was really surprised at the way that we got to the football. We ran to the ball. We had a number of people around the ball each time that the ball carrier had it. And so that in its own right was something that we're thrilled about because we are a young defense. We saw what can happen with our skilled people on the offensive side, making some plays, making people miss tackles. We had some big plays on the offensive side. And now if we can get to the point where our execution is even better, it'll only get us to be a stronger football team all around.
What do you expect from Cavalry from an X's and O's standpoint?
They're a humongous team. Their offensive line is, there might be small college lookalikes, they're huge. So they have the ability to run the power game. They do have a freshman quarterback, but the guy's 6'2", and he throws the ball well. Obviously he's probably inexperienced, but yet with the line they have, they don't have to put the ball in his hands to try to win it. They certainly have some good backs back there behind him, and they can get into a power game and can control the clock. Well, they also, on the defensive side, put down some people that are just as big over there. So they're going to be a very physical football team. They are running a new defense and what they have been doing in the past. We will have to adjust to a 3-4 scheme, and we hope that we can expose it and hope that they're still in the learning stages of it to help us out. A lot of times if teams are equal, then it comes down to a kicking game. They are solid, but we feel confident in ours as well. And the biggest thing going down there is that I know, as I said earlier, they're going to be very well coached. They played a very tough team last week and got spanked pretty good. So I know that playing a home game, playing us with the attention that we have received, then they're going to be motivated to play. But our job is just to be focused on our task at hand and do what we can do.
We went into it strong. We knew it was going to be a tough game, but we played tough and we played how we were supposed to, and we got the job done. We've been practicing every day with the plays and executing them, making sure we did everything right, and that reflected on the game, and we just did what we were supposed to do. We know Cavalry's going to be a very tough team, and they're well coached. They have a big offensive line, and they're fast. And we're just going to have to put all those in mind Friday and this week when we prepare.
I feel like they went pretty smooth. I had to miss a few days of practice leading up because of COVID, but when I came back, it was like I didn't miss a beat. My guys up front did a really good job protecting all week. The defense did a great job of giving us the ball and letting us do our thing. Got to stay locked in and get after it this week like we did last week and try to improve. Because we made a bunch of mistakes we just got to clean up on and try to do that and get at them this week.
Well, this week you've got Cavalry. If you look at their score from last week, it could be easy to say, oh, well, we should be able to roll in here and beat these guys. What's your thoughts on playing them?
Just got to remember that it's still going to be an uphill battle and we can't take them lightly. Even though they took a big loss last week, they're still got good players. So.
And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll check in with the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy, in-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, and in-house labs. Featuring nurse practitioner Melissa Beasley, Family Internal Medicine of Statesboro can accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care. Our Southeast Bulloch segment is brought to you by Scott's Floor Covering, passionate to floor you for all your installation needs with over 30 years of experience. Please call Joel Scott at 912-536-2107 or email scottsfloorcovering@yahoo.com for a free quote today. On the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets with a big victory, 31-13 at home at Fred Shaver Field Friday night over Screven County. This week the Jackets get set to head to Nahunta. Let's first take a look back at some of the highlights from Screven and Southeast. The Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets opening the 2020 season at home in Brooklyn against Screven County. At quarterback, Gage DiGiovanni. He swings the pass over to Trayvon McBride, who picks up some nice yards. This drive would stall, leading to a 42-yard Jonah Jones field goal. It's up and good. Jackets up 3-zip. The Yellow Jacket defense holding the Gamecocks in check. Jacob Martin with the tackle. 3-0 at the end of the first. In the second, it's DiGiovanni to Tyler Griffin, and Griffin showing his special skill set as he goes 86 yards for the touchdown. The Jackets extending their lead to 10-0. More from the Yellow Jackets and their swarming D as Screven unable to get anything going. Back on offense, and check out the reverse to Griffin here. And watch him go 38 yards, showing a little strength as well as speed on this run. And then it's DiGiovanni to Enosh McMillan, who hauls it in. Nice pass here, 17-0, Yellow Jackets at the half. Coach Barrett Davis looking for more in the second half. Screven finally able to get on the board in the third as Luclavian Lane goes in for the short touchdown run. But the Jackets answer as Adrian Taylor will go 75 yards for the touchdown as the big plays continue for the Jackets. 24-6 at this point. In the fourth quarter, Screven able to score again as Chase Hart hits Jake Pollock for the touchdown. The Jackets defense continuing to make some big plays. And then for the finishing touch, it's going to be Griffin on defense, getting it done. The interception, and watch him just stroll on through for the 52-yard touchdown as the Jackets roll 31-13. This week it's on the road to Nahunta to take on the Brantley County Herons. We had a chance to talk with Coach and a few of the players about the matchup.
I thought we made plays when we needed to. I thought we had very explosive plays Friday night. I thought our kids did a good job of being able to have a good first half. We played pretty flawless the first half, up 17-0. And we talked about being flat coming out of the locker room a little bit. Screven went right down and scored on us, and we had to respond. And we did, and we made some big plays enough, and it felt good to get off on a positive note and get these guys out in the field running around and playing the game. I felt we've got to be able to improve on small things that, not necessarily scheme-wise type stuff, but open field tackling, carrying out blocks, and just getting better with route running and understanding the game, the very basic stuff we got to get better at. The guys that we've been kind of repping in practice, those were the guys that went out and they executed well Friday, and I thought we did a very good job. 2 or 3 linemen up front on the offensive line, skill guys did a very good job. Gage Giovanni stepped up well too, and so we were proud of all of our guys. And Jacob Martin had a good game on Friday at Mike linebacker for us with 9 tackles. So we were very proud of all those guys, and we thought they did a good job fighting 4 quarters.
Your thoughts on playing Brantley County? What do you know about them? What do you expect?
Well, they had a very good team last year. They graduated a good bit, very similar to what we did, but they're very base. They're a 4-2-5 on defense, and they kind of do a lot of tight end sets offensively, just trying to do a lot of quarterback power, counter, and ISO, and just try and do some RPO stuff and just get the ball for high percentage throws out on the edge. So we know what to expect of them. We're going to have to go play. We're expecting a tough environment, kind of some hometown cooking stuff too. So we got to go 2 hours on a bus, so we're going to have to go and get off and ready to play and not be relaxed.
What was it like to have to sit out last year?
I like to touch the ball, get as many touches as I can get.
What do you feel like you bring out there on the football field?
Energy for my teammates, hype them up so we can win the game, make good blocks, all that.
Yeah, it was good. It felt good to finally get out there and hit some people, get around the field. I felt like it was good. I felt like we got a couple things we got to fix. Got to fix people getting on the field, knowing their positions and stuff. And we came up kind of flat in the second half. We're going to have to fix that too. Just knowing that this game could be our last, we just had to keep working and working, hoping to get every second we can on the field. Do what we always do, just go down there, get some hits, play good offense, play good defense, and try to get some points on the board.
And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll check in on some high school softball.
A sports injury can stop you in your tracks. At Optum Orthopedics, our specialized physicians and staff use advanced orthopedic procedures with one specific goal in mind: to get you back to you. If you have a sports injury, request an evaluation. Experience the Optum difference.
No credit refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements, just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
Well, not a lot of teams in action this week on the softball diamond, but the Bulloch Academy Gators were taking on Robert Toombs in a region matchup. Let's send you out for some highlights. A Tuesday region matchup at home for the Gators as Bulloch Academy hosts Robert Toombs. Early on, the Gators not helping themselves much. They'd have 4 errors in the first inning alone, which would lead to 4 Robert Toombs runs, and they'd find themselves down 4-0. The Gators fighting back. Leah Williford